Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing on this beautiful Tuesday evening, guys? How are you guys doing? Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Welcome in, Cruise Nuts. Hello, Miss Tracy. Hello, guys. You don't understand. It was with great pleasure meeting the both of you guys. I had such a great time on board. Welcome in, Scott McNeil. Welcome in. Hopefully, everybody's doing really good today, and it is an amazing Tuesday so far. Just here trying to get all this information gathered for you guys. And we're going to talk about the Carnival Paradise. We're going to do the live review here today and all of the good things. My son Jadon will be here with us. Well, look at you.
Right on
You want to
time.
get us chair?
Yeah, I'll get a chair because I
Okay.
might be here a while.
All right, so he's going to come and he's going to spend some time with us. Thank you so much, Tracy. My mom had a great time meeting everybody. Um, Thank you so much for being here. Rena Hearing, thank you so much for being here today. Hopefully, I didn't butcher your name, but I am so happy to spend this time with you guys today and be able to talk to you guys about the paradise. You know, we just got back on Sunday. We actually embarked Monday, October 28th, and we just got back this Sunday. So it's just been how would I say, a lot to take in. It was a fun cruise. It is a smaller ship, but we had a great time. I actually got to meet a whole bunch of my vlogger friends, like Controversial Cruising was there with us, which is Scott. The Cruise Nuts, Mike and Tracy was there, so I got to meet them. I got to meet Eddie and Alice from Eddie Lugo Studios and Alice Lugo Studio. Also, we got to meet Jeremy and Cheryl from Cruising is Fun at Any Time. And hopefully I didn't miss any. Oh, we met with Miss oh my God, I forgot her name. Oh God, I didn't want to forget anybody's
Gonzalez?
name. No, Miss Kathy, Miss Kathy Mill. Oh my God. And her friend. We also met with her. Let me scooch a little bit here on the side so that Jadon can come on this side because he wanted to be on our show today.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome in, Peak Adventures. How are you guys doing today? Well, I just before we start on our review, I wanted to give you
I'm a
hold
little
on.
further over, yeah.
I wanted to give you a little information. Welcome in, Jeffy. Welcome in. I wanted to give you a little bit of information on the Carnival Paradise. So I got some information here for you guys. The Carnival Paradise was named in 1998. This is obviously is a Carnival Corporation ship. It's also the port registry is on Panama, so it's registered in Panama. The cost to build the ship was 300 million to build it. It was laid down in 1996 and it launched in January 29 of 1998. It was sponsored by Paula Zan. It was christened in 1998, completed in 1998, and acquired in October 29 of 98. The maiden voyage was November of 98, and it's in service since 98 to the present time. So there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about this ship. One of the cool things is the capacity on this ship is 2,040 passengers and 920 crew members, guys. And I was looking on Wikipedia, and I just wanted to give you some information about the Paradise. And a little bit of the history that I found was the Carnival Paradise was built to be the world's first complete non-smoking cruise ship. Can you believe that? It was supposed to be a non-smoking cruise ship, but you know, and I know that that's not the truth because people actually supposed to be. She was entered into service, supported by several anti-smoking and cancer prevention groups. Non-smoking signs were placed prominently on both sides of the ship and on the stern under the name. Non-smoking rules were strictly enforced back in the time, and the policy changed in December of 2003. So that's when the policy changed for that. So that was just, something that I was looking into, and I'm like, that's kind of cool, right? Because you never see a non-smoking ship. Um, but a little bit of more information. In 2004, she repositioned to Long Beach, California, and after her arrival in Long Beach, she undertook 3 and 4 day cruises to Ensenada, Mexico, and Santa Catalina Island in California. In late 2011, Carnival moved Carnival Paradise to Tampa, replacing the Carnival Inspiration. If you guys remember the Carnival Inspiration, which went to California, and Carnival Paradise takes 4 and 5 night voyages to the Western Caribbean and the Bahamas. The ship is also used to sail to Havana, Cuba at one point, and Key West on selected sailings from 2017 to 2019.
They'll still go to Key West every now and then.
They do, but not to Cuba anymore. And in 2018, she underwent a month-long dry dock in Freeport, Bahamas, which added a 14th deck in the front of the ship to accommodate 38 new cabins. In 2023, the Carnival Paradise underwent another refit during the October dry dock, which added new spaces as well as upgrades to the vessel. Now, with that being said, guys.
Oh, so we're seeing a pretty new version of the ship, actually.
Yeah, we actually saw a new version of this ship, things that they were not there before, and they're there now. So welcome in your favorite couple. Thank you so much for being here today. But yeah, guys, just a little bit about the Carnival Paradise. What made it special, to be honest, at least for me, well, Jadon was a little sick and he was not able to do a whole lot. But for me, what made it special was meeting all of my YouTuber friends. That in itself made this trip so special. It's kind of like a different, you feel like so differently when you talk to like cruise nuts, on a weekly basis. You see them here on the channel. But to actually get to spend some time with them over the week, it was tremendously special for me. So that's what was my highlight of this trip. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, right, Jadon? Jadon is gonna do the bad and the ugly.
Okay, I do have at least one thing that I did really like about this ship. Oh, he's gonna let me? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the first things I noticed as I was coming onto the ship and we were walking around, taking our bags all over the place, trying to get settled in, getting food. The ship has a very unique design when it comes to a Carnival ship. I'm not going to say I dislike the look of most modern Carnival ships, but they do kind of look a little similar. This one looks and feels a lot more like a sort of old hotel, if that makes any sense. It's very nice. You can tell this was made in a very different time when cruising was this massive, huge spectacle and there weren't as many, because they try very hard to make this one look very elegant. There's a lot of nice decorations. There are these really like gorgeous pillars up at the buffet, and it's the buffet. That's usually where it's just here's food and here's like nothing. But even there, it still looks very beautiful. It is a very well kept ship. Everything looks nice. It's still in pristine condition. The elevators are like a little slow, but that's like the worst of it in terms of the ship's aging.
Right.
The only way that you would know the ship is like 40 or almost 50 years old is that the windows are still like pretty thickly covered in sea salt, and that's about it.
Welcome in, MNT Living. I do agree with you. I love the actual promenade itself. It is beautiful. It's something that the newer ships don't have, like that old kind of look, like, wood and everything. And I was very surprised, guys, when we docked in Key West, because it's one thing when you're embarking, you don't really get to see the ship like up close. But when we were in Key West, I don't know if you remember, the ship looks pristine outside. It has been very well kept. Carnival has been keeping the beautiful Paradise, but they have to, because she's the only thing that we have here in Tampa. So she has to be up to date and pristine, look. So that was one of the coolest things that I found. Even walking on the ship, you really couldn't tell that the ship was like almost 30 years old. You really couldn't tell.
Not until it starts moving its wings.
But actually, even with the bad weather that we had, I think it was way better than the Disney Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
when we were on the Disney Fantasy, because that ship, you can actually feel it. It was at least 2 or 3 times worse than what we felt on this ship.
The Disney Fantasy truly gives you the once in a lifetime experience of being on a pirate ship. It's great.
But looking through the different, I would say looking through the different floors that it is not only is well kept. The only thing that I really didn't understand. Hey Marjorie, welcome in. The only thing that I really couldn't understand was the dining, the way the dining was set up. It's kind of like in the middle of the ship, but if you're on deck 9 aft, you have to go one down and kind of come around to the front to get into the dining. If not, you're in the back of the dining, and then you kind of like have to be a little rude and kind of like to walk in through the dining to get to the other side. Eventually, we figured it out.
Yeah, but like from what I remember, in order to get to your My Time dining, you have to specifically, you need to go to floor 8 around the front of the ship. Like you need to be at the front of the ship, go down to floor 8 or to floor 7. And either of those can access My Time dining. But in order to get there from floor 7, you have to approach from the front, come up the stairs, and then you can go into dining. There's like one entrance to it, and it's in a very specific spot. And there's like no walkways to get there. You have to take the elevator from somewhere else in the ship.
Right. So we would because we were on the aft of the ship. That's where we were. So we had to walk towards the front and then get on the elevators to take us to our Elation dining room, which eventually we figured it out, and we didn't have any problems after. It was just at the beginning we were trying to figure all of that out, and every time we would be on the back of the dining room and things like that. But let me tell you, the food was good. I cannot complain. It was very hot, like it wasn't cold or lukewarm or anything.
Some really good soups.
Yeah. So the food was really good, pretty much at all the time when we were, whether the dining room or the buffet. I think that they did a really good job with the food, even though that on this ship, and I was telling, I even told Cruise Nuts this and most of the vloggers that were there. The only thing that it was weird for me is because I guess I'm so used to the bigger ships, so everything has a lot more of it. And on this ship, when we got to the buffet, there's only like 2 stations. 2 stations, a deli, pizza, and a station where you have all the kind of like the desserts and things like that. And then that's it. That's all she wrote. But then you have actually Guy's Burger up front, the Blue Iguana Cantina bar, and also the taco area. So, you have enough like variety, you can say, when it comes to food. So food was really good on Carnival Paradise. So I definitely give a good on that one. My mom, for those of you that met my mom, she enjoyed her cruise. She enjoyed it. She had a good time meeting everybody. I know that there was a lot of people that was talking to my mom, and she didn't speak any English, so I had to let everybody know. But other than that, she really had a great time meeting everybody. And we gather every evening with Eddie and Alice and sometimes Scott or whoever was there, and we would just chit chat until 1 and 2 in the morning, and then wake up the next day. Our port of call in Key West was one of our nice highlights. We got to eat at what was it called? Pepe's restaurant.
Yeah, it was really good. The food there is good. Now, I'm not leaving the stream. I'm getting something.
So while Jadon go get something, if you ever go to Key West, try Pepe's restaurant. It's right by the port. It is great food, amazing. It's a little bit expensive, but it's to be expected. It's Key West. We had an amazing time there. We had lunch with Cruise Nuts and Alice and Eddie Lugo Studios. So that was a great opportunity to, kind of like chit chat and talk. And after that, we went shopping just like regular around the port and things like that. So Key West was really good. Then we had a sea day, which we enjoyed. And we had a stop on this cruise on Montego Bay. So I'm going to stop here on Montego Bay. I have traveled quite a bit, whether it's cruises or by plane. Usually I like the port of Falmouth. I love it because if you are a cruiser that you don't like to maybe doing excursions or something like that, then Falmouth is good for you because you can always get off the ship and enjoy the port area. But at Montego Bay, we were supposed to do an excursion, which we were going to supposed to go to Good Hope Estate. And the night before our excursion, at around 8 o'clock ish, before we went to, it was a little bit before we went to dinner that night, I get a letter from Carnival saying that our excursion was canceled because not a lot of people decided to opt out for that excursion, which is okay, no problem. But I actually had done that excursion like 9 months before. So to find out like at 8 o'clock at night and then excursion, short decks excursion was closed and we couldn't figure anything out. When we got to Montego Bay, it was very disappointing because there's nothing to do there in Montego Bay.
What? Okay, Montego Bay, what a port. First off, to sing the graces of Key West, so I'm not just being negative the whole stream. I really like Key West. I have been there exactly 3 times in my life at this point, and it's been a delight every single time. I really like Duval Street. There's a lot of different shops. There's a lot of different things to see. There is a huge diversity in, like, you know, you have regular businesses, you have your small local businesses, which are by far my favorite. And it's mostly small local businesses. You have a lot of people doing a lot of different things. Like, there's this one place right next to where I got this really cool hat, by the way, where
you have to bring the hat.
Yeah, of course. I spent good money on this.
Well, real quick, welcome in Will G. And yes, Jadon, we went to Key West, if you guys know, in May of this year. We did Memorial Weekend there with the family. We spent like, 4 or 5 days there.
Yeah, it was nice.
And we went to this Panama hat place where they actually sell the Panama hats. And he's always wanted one. So on this cruise that stopped in Key West, his view was straight to where this Panama hat company was.
I was set. I was like, we are going to the end of Duval Street, and I want that hat. Now, it's a very nice hat. It is La Rubia. It is very nice, very good. LARUBIA. Stop there if you got the chance. They make incredibly quality hats, and a lot of different things on Duval Street are quite good. Like, there is an ice cream spot right next to it where they have all sorts of really weird, unique, and distinct flavors. I make sure to go there every time just because not only is it nice to see what kind of different things they have, they also have your standards. You know, they got their lemon sorbet. So there's always something for everybody, but there is always something for some really weird tastes as well.
What did you have? What kind of ice cream did you get?
So I had a scoop of lemon sorbet and a scoop of like pomegranate ice cream.
Okay.
It was really nice.
I had passion fruit.
Yeah, it's really good. I like Key West a lot. It's a very comfy place for me, especially around this time of year where it's only in like the 70s instead of the 90s, like when we came a while ago.
Right. It was very good. Yeah, it was really good. Welcome in, Samara Brown. This is the Disney Queen has arrived. Welcome in, and welcome in, Kimberly. Welcome in. What was my favorite port? We're going to get into that in a little bit. Scott Manuel said he did the hop on and hop off Montego Bay. We actually saw that on it, but by the time we saw it, there was nobody there. Everybody was gone. Everything was kind of like, because we didn't know that Montego Bay did not have a whole lot of stuff in the port there. So pretty much we went out, we kind of saw a little bit of shopping there. Maybe like there was like about 8 different stations there.
And that's it.
And that was it. That's all there is to it.
And they're all selling basically the same thing.
Right. So there was like nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. So we went back on the ship and I finished filming the upper decks of the ship that day. I finished filming the cruise. Oh my God, I can't even think straight today. The cruise tour. And then we just spent the day there with my mom and we enjoyed the Disney Queen. You are right. I'm wearing my Lion King sweater. Oh, look at you today. Kim said that she loves your hat. That's a Panama, what is it called? A Panama hat?
Yeah, it's a Panama hat.
So yeah, it was not cheap, guys. It was not cheap.
They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. So
forgot to show them what it comes with.
What?
the
Oh
bag.
yeah, so they come with a custom bag, which like it's like a regular flat bag, but it has like a little like bump in it specifically for containing the top, like the crown where the head goes,
Yeah.
which is great. Yeah, I agree. Foulmouth is a better port. See,
Yes.
for me at least, I was really upset because the excursion was the one I wanted to go on because Mom had
Mhm.
told me about it, and I was like, "Oh wow, there's like natural falls and everything. It sounds really great." And it being canceled because not enough people had an interest in it is already a little upsetting. But then I go to the port and you see, okay, it's the cruise terminal and shopping mall. So at the very least, they probably have like a pretty hefty shopping mall where you can buy a lot of stuff because it's a cruising port. They want you to go around, they want you to buy stuff. There is nothing at that shopping mall because apparently all of the stores at the actual mall are closed down while it's in cruise port mode. So all the things that I was hoping to see were just completely
Right.
gone, and it was like the six like stands outside, and that was it.
Right. It was a little disappointing. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because if you ever going that way, but if you ever go to Jamaica, it is best that you port in Falmouth than in Montego Bay, guys,
And if you're gonna port
for
in
sure.
Montego Bay, you better have an excursion. Thank you, Martine.
So, but yeah, then we went after Montego Bay, we went to Cayman Islands. Hey, Miss Alice, welcome in, my love. Welcome in. It was great meeting you, Miss Alice. I had such a great time with you and Eddie, and lots of great memories, for sure. But then we went and we stopped at Cayman Islands. Let's talk about Cayman Islands. These guys didn't want to go to the 7 Mile Beach at all. At all. They
I
just wanted to go shopping.
I burn easily. I'm sorry.
So we went shopping, we went shopping around the port, and we found some cool things. Um, One of the cool things that we found was Guy Harvey's store. And I ate at the smallest KFC. So I had to stop there because last time when I went, I actually filmed it. This time I wanted to try and taste it to see what it was as just as the KFC, and it was. But the funny part was, and I told Jadon when we were coming in, there's a whole bunch of chickens,
They have no idea.
live chickens in front of KFC.
They
And I
have
thought
no
that it was
idea.
really funny. I thought it was really funny that they were just there. And then next thing you know, you're going in to eat probably their relatives.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of KFC either, Samara. It's just Mom loves it.
Yeah, I like KFC, believe it or not, Samara. So I just wanted to try it in a different place because for those of you that maybe have never been to Bermuda, in Bermuda, you don't have McDonald's, you don't have Burger King, you don't have Wendy's, but you do have a KFC, which is very expensive to eat there. So for those of you that have been to Bermuda, might attest to this. It is very expensive to eat there. I didn't eat in Bermuda because I think for a bucket of chicken, and I was not going to buy a bucket either, it was $54 just for the bucket of 8-piece chicken. So, with that being said, I did not eat the KFC in Bermuda, but I wanted to try it because it's a very little KFC, and I think it's really cute because usually you see them, like a big establishment, but that's like a little. How would you even consider that? Because it's very small.
It's less of like a proper fast food place, and more
Right.
so, if anything, it kind of reminds me of. I say it reminds me as if I was even alive for these, but it reminds me of like places where there's just like a window that you walk up to and you get your food and you sit down outside.
Right. Look, Samara says it's half the price of a Disney park ticket. Girl, you're right. It literally is to eat chicken. So in Cayman Island, we kind of like walked around and we enjoyed. Jadon wasn't feeling all there, so he went back to the ship. And my mom and I, we just went out and we just explore a little bit more around there. I've been to Cayman Island quite a bit. One of the cool things that I did find out in Cayman Island, they're actually going to build a port, guys. We're actually going to eventually be porting in to Cayman Islands. So that's coming soon. We're going to actually be porting into Cayman Island. And instead of having to do this tendering situation,
Yes, I am her son.
yes, that is my son, Jadon, Samara. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be very easy also for the people with accessibility. to be able to be on the port, and they just can come in and out with no problems. Because I can imagine when I was in the tender, there was like about 4 scooters, and it's hard for them to get into these tenders and then get them off and all of that. So just seeing that, I think it'll be a benefit for all the people with accessibility, that they can actually be able, once they have the port in place, that they can actually come in and out with no problems.
How on earth do I look like her brother?
I don't have brothers or sister. I'm the only daughter for my mom and my dad. So yeah, but he is my son. He is one of my youngest of all my 5 kids. He's number
I'm
4.
the second youngest.
Yeah, he's number 4 because in his Sophie, she's the little one.
I also did the editing.
That will be nice when Cayman Island has, yes, Miss Alice. I think it'll be a benefit for a lot of different reasons. The ship can port there. You don't got to worry about tendering or anything like that, especially for the people with accessibility and stuff like that. I think that'll be a plus. But the reasons why they're doing it is because the ships, when they're out in the water, they have to stay on. So once they're in port, there is a little bit better for them to do that. So they're going to invest in a port. I think they're saying it should be done either 2025 or 2026, either end and beginning of 2026. He wants to do, wait a minute. He wants to do a trip at Lago Mar in Fort Lauderdale. What's over there? Let us know. So, but yeah, so Cayman Island was really cool. We had a really good time there. Other than I think the only one that I can say that it was a little bummer was just Montego Bay. Key West was phenomenal. I love going to Key West.
Key West is my favorite, so I had a lot of fun.
Even though they Jadon's friend, we were not able to see Miles.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine. I'm not going to say their name on stream because they're not really part of the channel, or anything. But I didn't want to meet up with them. I was not able to, however. But I've seen them before, so it's fine.
Yeah, so it was a little bit like disappointing, you can say, because I know he was looking forward.
It was a little upsetting, but it is what it is.
But we actually had a good time, and look, he got his hat, from over there from Key West, that he's been looking forward to. He collects hats, guys. For those of you that know, he actually has a whole collection.
I have a lot of different hats from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Main reason I was even so interested in this one is not just because it's authentic, like that's always a bonus, but usually whenever you see a Panama hat, like a straw woven hat like this, one, have you ever seen it so fine like this? And two, it's usually always the ones that are basically just fedoras but made out of straw, and they fall apart after like a week of using them. So having a much sturdier, much more unique hat like this is what I was looking for.
He actually has a really cool hat I brought from Freeport. It's made out of carton.
No, you don't need to describe it. I still have it.
You still have it?
Yes,
I actually got it for him on Freeport, and I thought that was the coolest hat because he collects them, and I thought that it was really cool for him to have something completely different, guys, because you got to see this. It's really cool and different. Do you buy the photo package? No, I do not. I used to before I was a travel agent, and afterwards I do not buy a photo package. When is my next cruise? April 20th of 2025, unless something happens that I need to leave before then. So go ahead.
I love my weird missile.
So that's his hat. For those of you that know, that is a hat. And look at that. I got that for him in Freeport like maybe 13 years ago. Believe it or not.
I've taken good care of it ever since.
And you could put it in 2 different ways. So you can have it that way, or you can have it this way. It's something completely unique and different. I saw it in Freeport, and I had to get it. I really had to get it for him, and I can't believe he's had it all this time. Thank you, M&T. I know it is a really cool hat. It's something completely different. I saw it for him. I think I paid like $10 back then, and it's made out of like a carton kind of thing. So it's really cool. My room is like a Disney. I could imagine your room is like a Disney store. I love both hats. Thank you so much, Kim. But yeah, So one of the cool things that I actually wanted to let you guys know on this channel today, it was, everything was really nice. The ship is well kept. Food was amazing. Ports of calls were really cool, other than our situation with Montego Bay. But we've been to Montego Bay before in Falmouth, and we had a great experience over there. But I am very honest, as a person and as a travel agent for you guys. If you ever see a Montego Bay stop, you can go there, but make sure you have something to do, like an excursion, and pray that it does not get canceled. That's the only situation. I would rather port in Falmouth, because if it gets canceled, you have a lot more to do there. The port is bigger, it has some shops, it has music, and you have a little bit more, stuff to do. That's my only, my takeaway, if you were say on this whole review. I did a Carnival cruise once again. But did you book? Well, my group cruise is on a Carnival ship. It's on the Carnival Celebration, and it's on April 2025. And for those of you that are new here, that didn't know about this, let me hold on. Where are you? It's somewhere around here. Here we go.
Good evening, everyone. We've got a very special announcement to make today. From Sunday, April 20th to Sunday, April 27th of 2025, we'll be hosting our first ever Traveling with Tinkerbell group cruise on none other than the Carnival Celebration. The itinerary is simple. We'll be departing from the Port of Miami in Florida on the 20th. Our first day will be a simple day at sea where you can explore the boat and check out what's on board. Try some of the food at the buffet, or grab a Guy Fieri burger by the pool and relax. Following that, we'll be stopping at Amber Cove in Dominican Republic, then San Juan in Puerto Rico, and lastly St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands before 2 more sea days to take us back to port. If you're interested in joining us, you can book now at J.A. Gonzalez at ExpediaCruises.com. The phone number is 813-608-2935, and the website link will be in the description below. We hope to see you on board when the time comes.
That was me,
there,
by the way.
yeah, there you guys have it. So that is our group cruise. I still have about 6 cabins left on this group cruise. So if you're interested, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to put you there. We also have another group cruise, but that we'll talk about it tomorrow in our Across the Wave show.
San Juan is very nice.
Yeah, San Juan is nice. If you've never been to San Juan, you at least gotta try it, because San Juan is not because I was born in Puerto Rico, but it's really, really nice. On another note, I wanted to add this information here, because I did a live stream a couple of weeks ago on the Perfect Day Mexico, and I actually got some new information, and I wanted to share this with everybody here on the live stream today. That has nothing to do with Carnival Paradise, but I just wanted to give you this information. Royal Caribbean did come out, and they did purchase for $292 million the whole entire port of Costa Maya. So Costa Maya now belongs to Royal Caribbean, and they're going to be doing major renovations in that port, and it's only going to be strictly for only Royal Caribbean ships that are going to be going there. Now, what I don't know yet, this part they haven't said, if there's going to be any other ships porting other than Royal Caribbean and Celebrity ships in Costa Maya. I don't know if Carnival is going to be porting there, Holland America, Norwegian, and all these other ships that usually port in Costa Maya. I don't know if after whatever the date is, they're going to be porting there. That's the part that I don't know, but I do know for sure, because that came out a couple of days when I was on the Carnival Paradise, that they did purchase the whole entire port for $292 million, and they're going to renovate that whole entire port. So for those of you that maybe like Royal and things like that, then that will be a new port for you guys. Have you ever been to the Panama Canal? No, I have not been to Panama Canal yet. Our next highlight will be next year in June. And where are we going, Jadon?
We're going to Europe.
We are going to Europe, and we have a big group. I think there were a total of 18 cabins so far on this group, and we're going to be porting out of Rome. And our family is going to be going a couple of days before to Rome. Then we're going to be getting on the
Actually, I'm trying to remember. I know it's a celebrity ship, which is great.
the Celebrity Ascent.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Apex. But
No, that was the other one. We're going to be not porting. We're going to be going on the Celebrity Ascent, and then we're going to spend 8 days there. We're going to go all through Italy, and we're going to make our way to Barcelona. We're going to spend one evening in Barcelona. We're flying out to Paris. We're going to spend 2 days in Paris, and then we're going to be heading back over here. Where we are in Paris, we are going to visit Disney because my daughter wants to visit Disney. Jadon is not too happy, but we're going to visit Disney, even if it's for a half day. We're going to visit Disney, and we're going to check out all the Disney cool stuff. I want to see if there's anything Tinkerbell Paris that I can bring back home. So that's going to be phenomenal. Look at Samara. Samara's like, wait a minute, I'm coming with. Maybe I'll see Samara in Disney over there. I'm jealous about you guys going on the Ascent La Fala. Actually, Jadon and I did the Celebrity Ascent before we actually got to try it out. We were invited. Mm-hmm. So we were there like, 4 days? I think it was like 4 days that we were on the Ascent, and he loves Celebrity. So
yeah, I am very settled on Celebrity. I think in terms of my least favorite to favorite cruise lines that I've been on, at least, I can't say anything about like Norwegian, for example. Never been on one. Carnival is my least favorite, followed by Royal being in the middle, and then it is Celebrity.
So you go Celebrity, Royal, and Carnival.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, but that's going to be our trip next year. That's our biggest trip. It's a total of, I think, 18 days. I think it's a total of 18 days altogether. So we are preparing. There's a lot of excursions, lots of parts, moving parts in between. So we got to get all of this stuff done. We already have like hotels for the beginning. We just need the flight to Paris and hotel in Paris. We got to buy Disney tickets. We got to buy still tours. I got to sit down with the family, see what tours we want to do, and all of that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of walking, a lot of fun, a lot of great memories, lots of pictures. And then I guess we're going to do a full review of that one.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Did you pick a 5-star hotel? We actually went with the 4.5 in Rome and a 5 in Barcelona.
I did not hear about this.
Yeah, well, I did all of that. So I'm still processing the one for Paris. We're trying to figure out where in Paris we want to stay. We don't want to stay too far from Disney, but I don't want to also stay too far from everything, all the central things. So we have to map everything out to figure out where we want to actually maybe mid in the middle. But I know we're going to be taking trains and different things like that. So it's going to be, like I said, it's a lot of moving parts to it. But that's coming next year. So I can't wait. I can't wait to actually be able to bring you guys along on that one. I'm hoping to do, because I always do a sail away from every port. So I'm hoping to do a sail away, but because of the time, and I don't know how, what times, because these ships stay there till really late at night. So I don't know if I'm going to do coming into the port live stream or leaving, depending on the time. So I have to figure those things out. I love planning my trips and make sure that I'm staying at Days Inn. Oh, look at you.
Days Inn will always be there for those in need.
Yes, it would. So going back to the Carnival Paradise, guys, just to give you like a little bit of recap, I do suggest to try it. If you've never been on a smaller ship, at least try it. Even if it's one time. I had a great time on Carnival. This is my 3rd time on the Paradise. And I had a great time. I know Jadon was a little bit under the weather, so he didn't do too much.
Now, as for why I was under the weather, are we getting into the do-nots of this?
We are going to get into the do-nots. So go ahead and hit it with the do-nots.
Right. Yeah, so I didn't have the best time. Like, not to be wrong. I didn't go on a cruise ship and be like, oh, this is terrible. This is horrible. This is a bad vacation. I never want to do it again. I never want to do it again, but I want to go on a different ship because there's a lot of different, way better options. First thing, the room design of the cabin, there is a glaring oversight, which is the kind of mistake that could only be made 50 years ago. the bunk bed. If you have 3 people in your cabin, they're going to pull down one of them as the bunk bed, ignoring the cramped nature of it and how the bunk bed basically forces the person on the bottom to never sit upright ever again, because that's just how cruise ships kind of are. You can't avoid it. You can't just
Actually, that's not true, because we went on Carnival Mardi Gras and we had a bunk bed and I was able to sit just fine with no problems. It was on this ship where
it is very low.
It's like you have yay space, like literally like yay space.
Okay, if I had to like stand upright and say like this is about as tall as Mom stands right here up to this side, all the way down here. That's the space you got with the bunk bed active.
Yeah, it was like very, and then it had this like bar thing that goes across that if you, well, I was the person on the bottom. He was on the top.
Even on the top, there's a big bar for some reason.
But no, but not that bar that you have. I'm talking about the wooden one.
Yeah. No.
That comes out of the
No, there's a wooden bar on the bunk bed too.
Oh, okay. So if you are moving around, you could hit your face with it or your arm. So it was a situation.
It's clearly designed so the bunk bed can flip back in and be flush with the wall, but it's not even flush with the wall. So it's like even if the bunk bed was up, Mom would still have a big wooden box in front.
But if you remember, we've been on other ones that have that same setting, but the bunk bed is encrusted inside, so it comes down.
Yeah.
This one, the bunk bed is kind of like attached to the wall. So it comes down. It's I don't know who invented that whole situation.
And here is the worst part for anyone who is bringing their kid along. Like this is my warning to you. If you are bringing your kids along with you next time you go on the Carnival Paradise, if you are going to be pulling down that bunk bed, before you put them up there for bed, you want to turn your AC down. The AC is pointed directly into the bunk bed, blowing this old, dusty, cold air directly at that person specifically all night. So on the second day there, I had the worst cold ever, and it lasted the entire ship.
Yeah, because the AC vent was right at his face, like right there. Like you couldn't prevent it. So all the AC blowing into the room is just up there on his face, and that's probably what made him like.
Because normally in a cruise ship, right, the AC is a big vent in the ceiling that points straight downwards. In here, they have very old school AC vents where it's like it's not pointing down out of the ceiling. It is built downwards out of the ceiling, and it pushes the air outwards at its sides. And there's a little dial on it that you're supposed to turn to set how much you want the room to be like cooled.
Right.
So in the case of this, the person on the bunk bed is just like at actual risk of getting sick. It's not good room design, and it genuinely ruined my entire cruise.
Right. So, that was the reason why he was sick, most of the time, and he was not feeling good at all. That's Cash, for those of you that don't know. And this is Blue. Mrs. Blue. I need to actually comb her hair. But yeah, so, he's still, he's actually much better than he was the first few days.
Yeah, I was horrible on like day 3.
Yeah, it was not pretty. So we ended up having to lower the AC vent and all of that. But the spacing, like, I don't know, for the 3 people, yeah, I would agree with Jadon. If you're a family of 4 or family of 3, you're going to have a situation because you can't put, like, say if you're mom and dad and kid, they're not able to put the beds together the right way because that bunk bed will be over your feet. Kind of strange. It's weird how that will be. So good evening, Antoinette Fun. Nice meeting you on our meet day over here in Florida. It was great to meet you, and we had a great time. But yeah, so that was one of the things that I will say, keep an eye on when you're booking more than 2 people on a cabin. So what else do you have on your list?
So the layout of the ship is what can best be described as a little obtuse. It's very weird. In order to get anywhere, there's much like with the average ship, there's a few specific like floors that kind of have everything. But to really get around wherever you need to, things are mostly on the very top deck, and they're on decks like 9, 8, and 7. And you can only really enter those decks from specific places. Otherwise, you will need to do a lot of walking around and navigating to get anywhere. It's a little weird. It's not the worst thing, and I can, I figured it out eventually, but it definitely takes a bit to get used to the setup. What I did not get used to, however, was the fact that on this significantly smaller cruise ship with much less room for staff, there was a rather noteworthy problem of Carnival's usual carnivalisms kind of getting in the way of the staff being able to do their thing. Now, I'm not big on Carnival cruises, admittedly. Like I'm just not like they're called the fun ships because there's lots of parties, there's lots of singing and dancing. I prefer a much more laid back experience. So this might not ring true for everyone, but there is a certain frustration that comes with being sick on the last day and just wanting to get my meal and having a server come out to me and say that my meal is going to be delayed a bit because they have to do the dance party, and the dance party like delays when you're getting your meal. So if you're ever eating on that ship, because it is so small and so cramped in the dining room, whenever they do their mandatory Carnival everyone get up and dance and sing party, you're waiting extra on your food. Sorry, that's your problem now.
Yeah, he did mention it, which it was a little weird, but I'm like, okay, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. Jadon specifically, I already know this about my son. He does not like the main dining room to have all this commotion. In the other hand, I don't have a problem. I think it's fun. But Jadon, everybody travels different, and he's always been that way. It's not like if it's something new. So every time we go on a Carnival cruise, I already know he's going to complain about it.
The only thing, I get a little frustrated with the big dance party thing. What got me on this ship in particular was that the Paradise is really small and cramped and compact, meaning the waiters physically cannot do their thing when the dancing is happening. Like if you go on the Carnival Mardi Gras, it is 2 floors and all of the dancing is kept mostly in the center. So on the outside, the waiters can still walk around and they can still do their job. I can still get my food while they're doing their showtime dance party. On this ship, it drags your entire dining experience to a screeching halt, and you can't do anything. It is not a ship that is made for the Carnival big dance party.
Right. And it's actually that dining room was a smaller size, but it's less people as well. So it accommodates perfectly, to the amount of people that it needs to accommodate.
Yeah, when there's no dancing, it's a great dining hall.
Right. But it's like that was the only thing, because I don't know if anybody, I don't know if Cruise Nuts experienced that or anybody else that went with us, but we did have a point where he came and he told us that he was not able to bring us our dinner because they had to do the show. So that was a little bit kind of like, okay, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. But yeah, I do agree with Jadon on that one. Anything else? Now he's gonna think. For me, something I couldn't find, because at least to me, I couldn't find anything negative about it. To be honest with you, I enjoyed the whole trip, and maybe it was because I was spending time with friends and not putting too much time and effort on the other stuff. We did have Santa Claus in tow on this cruise. Look at it, it's showtime. Martin is saying I actually got to meet Santa Claus. There was an Elvis Presley there.
The Halloween costume party was nice.
Yeah, the Halloween costume party was really, really nice. Then obviously you have the Love and Marriage show, and that was a lot of fun. We got to spend some time there and had a lot of fun, hearing, the people that got married and all of that stuff. The cruise director was okay. I could say, I don't know if he's new. I've never heard of him, but he did a really good job.
The casino was nice.
Yeah, I know, right? But he did a really good job. The cruise director, I think his name was Uncle Johnny, I think it was. And he did a really good job. I've never traveled with him before, but I would do it again if I needed to, because he did a really, really good job as a cruise director. So that I can actually give him kudos for that. When it came down to music, like my mom loved the Havana because I could just drop her off there and she can hear music and all of that. There was not a whole lot of Latin music. There was, but it was mainly on the promenade on deck 9 midship, where you have the music, but then across you have the bar which this one doesn't have the alchemy bar, but you have a really nice bar by the casino, and people were watching the Dodgers game. So you have all these people screaming and hollering, watching their game, which is fine. But then you have the music playing like right next to it.
It's a lot of noise.
Yeah, you couldn't really enjoy it, to be honest. So that is my one negative thing to say.
There is one thing I noticed while walking throughout the ship, which it wasn't like a big deal because I didn't see a lot of kids on board, but there is like almost nothing for kids to do on that ship. Like if you walk by floor 8 in the middle while you're heading to dinner, there is a Circle C, but even that has a sign that just says like Circle C activities are happening on floor 11 actually. Like I guess the Circle C room just isn't even in operation anymore.
Well, there was not a lot of kids on board.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it was.
The main thing is like in order to get anywhere in that ship, you have to either pass between everyone's rooms, which is always a little awkward for kids, I know from experience, or you have to pass through the big, nightclub, casino, super zone in the middle of floor 8, which is not a good place for kids to be walking by because you can smell the smoke.
Right. But Circle C they were open. The only thing with Circle C is that there was not a lot of kids. I only saw maybe like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, that's why I said like it's not like the biggest deal for this particular outing, but I can't imagine like someone bringing their kid and there's like maybe just no place for them to do anything.
Right. But was at least my only complaint was that the music place and where the games were is like right next to each other. And it's not like if it's in a venue, it's out in the open. So it was a little hard to listen to the music and then everybody yelling every time. I guess I don't know, it was the New York Yankees or Dodgers, whoever they were playing a game. I don't follow the game, so I apologize, guys, for that. I don't follow none of that stuff.
It's sports ball. I only care when it's football.
Yeah, so they were there. So that's the only negative that I had. Other than that, I think the theater was a good. I think is a good venue. I think they need to change, I guess, the setting of the seat to give you a little bit of more back support on the theater. That's my only thing. I found that, it's kind of like halfway through your back. So you kind of like, it's a little uncomfortable if you're going to sit there for a long while to watch a show or anything like that. But I could understand because it's an older ship. So, but at the same time, it's so pretty.
It's a very nice looking ship.
It is a very beautiful ship. So you guys, if you ever come to Tampa and you want to try the Carnival Paradise, I definitely say do it. It's a beautiful ship. It has a lot of character in it. And I like the way it's designed. It brings you back to an era like where I don't even know how I would feel the day that Paradise leaves us forever and we're not going to be able to actually enjoy her anymore, because it's very different than the newer ships. Look, even Tracy agree about the seating.
Yeah. It's like I said way back at like the start of the of this like live stream. The Carnival Paradise is very much built like for back in the days when cruising was this big grand spectacle of an activity. Right. It really is a hotel on the water, and there's very few other ships that feel like a hotel on the water, and it's very nice.
Right. It is very nice. It's a beautiful ship. Great crew members. Mm-hmm. Can't complain. All crew members was amazing. Our crew member was thebomb.com. He pulled through with my mom because she loved the towel animals. And guys, God forbid she didn't have a towel animal on the day. That was her little highlight of the day. What towel animal am I gonna get? But the crew, great job. Kudos to you guys on Carnival Paradise. If you're watching this, you guys did an amazing job, and you continue to do an amazing job for each and everybody that comes in and out of that cruise ship. So continue to do your best, everybody in Carnival. We had a good time on the casino, Jadon and I. We actually won some money on the casino, so that was a plus.
Big winners in the live stream.
Jadon had to take me out of the casino.
I did. I had to okay, so on the last day, right, I managed to get myself up to probably the biggest winnings I have ever had in my life. Not to say, before anyone's like, wow, did he win like $10,000? It was like $93. It's just that I usually gamble very small. I had to like specifically get mom up once I realized okay, you got your the little mini game on one machine. You got to get up because you're not going to get anything from this machine anymore.
Yeah.
And I guided her over to a different machine, got her the mini game on that one, and then I got her up off of that one, got her to a different one. We got the mini game on that one.
We did the push one, the push coin thing.
Yeah.
Not the actual push coin. There's the actual machine.
Yeah, there's a machine that's got like these like golden dragons and everything. It's got push coins. We got like 43 feet free spins.
Free spins. That was fun.
It was fun. I was a little stressed because we had like 15 minutes to leave and it had the world's slowest animations ever. But yeah, so we got that one, and then afterwards I like got her up and I was like, okay, you're cashing out now. And we both walked away winners that day.
Yeah, we sure did. Alice Lugo Studio is here. I sent something to Eddie, so I am not going to put it on my channel, but maybe you guys might see it in either Alice or Eddie's channel. They were trying, and I'm going to give you a hint. They were trying to participate on Love and Marriage. So we're going to leave it there. What happened? I'm not going to say. I did video it. I actually sent it to Eddie, but I don't know if Eddie's going to put it on his channel or maybe Alice is going to put it on her channel. But we had an amazing time on the Love and Marriage show. And at the end, that was our last evening there. We actually, the whole vloggers cruise came together. We took a really cool picture with all of them. So one of the greatest highlights of my trip on the Carnival Paradise was meeting each and every one of you guys. I had such a great time with all of you guys. Alice, I'll send you a big hug. Also to Eddie. Thank you so much for the invitation. Cruise Nuts and Tracy, it was amazing meeting you guys. Same for Scott, the Controversial Cruising, for Jeremy and Cheryl for Go Live Together, and her and their daughter. We actually got to meet her as well. And let me tell you, it was such, so much fun meeting Kathy as well and her friend. People that, you chat here on a daily basis, and to put, that face together and get to meet them in real life was a blessing. So from me to you guys, I pray every day that God give you the grace and pour a lot of blessings over your channels and over you guys. And you guys continue to do what you do best. And hopefully one day we'll see each other again, back on another cruise, and so we can spend more time with you guys. Look, Alice is saying Eddie is watching it now. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that little video that I did for Alice and for Eddie. I figured that they were doing their thing and I was sitting right behind them, so I actually took my camera and snapped that video out for them. So it was a lot. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I had a great time. Thank you all for loving us and my mom during this cruise. It will never be forgotten. The memories will always be there. I truly had an amazing time with you guys. Kathy's friend is Rena. Rena, that is true. See, I remember. I'm like, I can't remember her name. Yes, Rena. I had such a great time, especially chit-chatting with you and our breakfast that we have together on the Sea Day brunch. It was such great meeting you on board, and also Miss Kathy. So I just wanted to say that, I love you guys all to the moon and back, and I wish you, the very best. And hopefully one day, again, we're able to do something like this. Again, we have to do something like this and get to meet the community and spend some time with the community. So this was our experience on the Carnival Paradise. The vlogs are going to be coming later on. So yeah, my mom is doing good. My mom is doing really good. She's a little sad because she's no longer on a cruise, but I know we're going to get her on another cruise, and she has such a great time with everybody. Even though that she couldn't understand a lot of what was going on, she still had a good time. With that being said, anything else you want to say, Jadon?
Anything else? I didn't remember the one other thing about the ship that bugged me a little bit. Sorry to end on a sour note. the Wi-Fi on the ship is not good.
Yeah, Wi-Fi was not all there. But you know what? It helped me with all my live streaming, so I'm good. Maybe because I was doing it from the outside.
Maybe.
But I love you guys all to the moon and back. Hopefully you guys enjoy this Carnival Paradise review between Jadon and I. My mom wasn't here. But thank you all. May God bless each and every one of you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Across the Wave. You don't want to miss tomorrow. It is at 8 p.m. And we have an announcement tomorrow for those of you that like Across the Wave. Come back tomorrow at 8 p.m. We have a great announcement for you guys. Love you all to the moon and back. Toodles. Hasta the next one.
See you.
I'll see you Tuesday. Love you guys. Take care. God bless. It doesn't want to end. I guess we continue.
Yep.
It's an